Picture this. It's 1987. The radio is full of rock ballads and synth beats, hair is big, jeans are high-waisted, and on the streets, the battle for muscle car dominance still has a few sparks left. Out of the Chevrolet stables rolls something that isn't just a car, it's an attitude on wheels. The 1987 Chevrolet Camaro SS, known to most as the IROC Z, was a statement from Chevy that the pony car war wasn't over. While some may argue that the SS badge wasn't officially plastered on it that year, the performance and swagger made it deserving of the name. This was a car that took the raw edge of American muscle and dressed it up for the late 80s, ready to hit the road with purpose. The first thing you notice is the stance. It sits lower than your average Camaro of the decade, hugging the pavement like it owns it. The front fascia is sleek, aerodynamic, almost predatory, with that long, sloping hood hinting at the power beneath. Chevrolet even relocated the third brake light into the rear spoiler this year, subtle, but it gave the back end a more polished, purposeful look. The ground effects wrap the sides neatly, and the iconic IROC Z graphics along the doors make no secret about what this machine is meant to do. Slip into the driver's seat, and you're greeted by an interior that screams late 80s cool. Cloth or leather sports seats with deep bolsters, a squared-off dash full of analog gauges, and that unmistakable Camaro steering wheel right in front of you. If you were lucky, you had the T-tops, a must-have option for the full wind in your hair experience. Pop them out, and suddenly every drive feels like a cruise along the coast, even if you're just heading to the grocery store. There's a certain magic in how sunlight bounces off that bright red or deep black paint while the open roof frames the sky above. Now, under the hood is where the real magic happens. Buyers had choices, but the heart-pounding pick for enthusiasts was the 5.7-liter L98 tuned port injection V8. It made 225 horsepower and a beefy 330 pound-feet of torque. It was only available with a 4-speed automatic, but don't let that fool you. Once you put your foot down, the surge of torque hits you instantly. If you wanted a manual, you could go for the 5.0-liter TPI V8, which came with 215 horsepower when paired to the 5-speed gearbox. Both engines had that unmistakable small block growl, the kind that gets under your skin and stays there. The IROC Z wasn't just a pretty face and a strong engine, though. Chevrolet made sure it could handle. The suspension was tuned with performance in mind: lower ride height, stiffer springs, thicker sway bars. You also got performance tires wrapped around those gorgeous 16-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels, which were exclusive to the IROC Z. Rear disc brakes came with the J65 performance package, and the limited slip differential meant both rear tires were ready to put power down when you punched it. On winding roads, the car felt planted and confident, a big step forward from the floaty muscle cars of the 70s. There was something about this car that connected emotionally with people. Maybe it was the look, maybe it was the sound, maybe it was the way it made you feel like you owned every lane you drove in. It wasn't the fastest car in the world. 0 to 60 came in the mid 6-second range, but back then, it was more than enough to leave an impression. This was the kind of car teenagers put posters of on their bedroom walls, the kind of car you'd dream of hearing idle outside your driveway on a summer night. 1987 was also a special year because the Camaro convertible returned for the first time since 1969. Built by ASC from T-top coupes, these drop tops were rare, with just over 1,000 made that year. If you managed to get one, you basically had an instant collectible on your hands. Add the 20th anniversary dash badge and you had a slice of Camaro history you could actually drive. Out on the street, the IROC Z had a presence that few other cars could match. Its angular lines, low stance, and confident demeanor made it stand out whether it was parked at a diner on a Friday night or roaring down the highway. People turned their heads, not just because it was loud or flashy, but because it symbolized something. It was a survivor of an era when American performance cars were trying to reinvent themselves, bridging the gap between the muscle of the past and the more refined sports cars of the future. Today, finding one in pristine condition is like finding a time capsule. Low-mile examples can fetch prices that rival modern Camaros, with some crossing the $50,000 mark for well-preserved, original cars. Collectors and enthusiasts alike chase them because they offer a pure, unfiltered slice of 1980s automotive culture. The boxy shape, the T-tops, the bold graphics, they all remind people of where they were when these cars were new. And there's a certain honesty to driving one now. There are no driving modes, no electronic nannies, no giant screens telling you how to drive. It's just you, the car, and the road. Every shift, every press of the accelerator, every squeal of the tires is real. It's mechanical, it's analog, and it demands your attention. In an age where everything is becoming digital and disconnected, the IROC Z offers a raw, tactile connection that modern cars often lack. Imagine firing up that L98 on a cool morning. The starter whirs for a moment before the V8 barks to life, settling into that deep, rhythmic idle. You drop it into gear, ease out onto the road, and within seconds, you're grinning. The exhaust note bounces off buildings, people glance over, and you remember exactly why these cars became icons. You find a stretch of open road, give it some throttle, and feel the rear end squat as the torque pushes you back into the seat. The speed builds, the scenery blurs, and for a moment, you're not in 2025 anymore. You're back in 1987, with a fresh tank of gas, a cassette in the deck, and nothing but the open road ahead. That's the magic of the 1987 Camaro SS, or IROC Z. It's more than horsepower and handling stats. It's a feeling, a memory, a symbol of an era when cars had personalities as bold as their paint jobs. It was Chevy proving they still had the muscle, even in a time when regulations and fuel economy were trying to tame performance cars. And decades later, it's proof that style, sound, and soul never go out of fashion. This has been USA Car Reviews, taking you back to the glory days of American performance. If you've ever driven one of these, or still own one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you've never had the chance, well, find one, take it for a spin, and you'll understand why the legend lives on.